Welcome, everybody, to Three Keys to Calm for you and your clients. And who here is ready to learn how to create calm for yourself and for your clients? Raise your hand. Yeah. All right. We are ready to learn. So, I understand what it's like not to feel calm. I actually right now want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a licensed clinical social worker for over 30 years, and I have been a certified hypnotherapist and I'm an intuitive coach. And I am so grateful that I have my intuitive abilities so that I can hear, feel, see, and know. And that I use my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to really transform lives. But it wasn't always this way. I grew up with a lot of trauma and I suffered with anxiety, depression, low self esteem, and post traumatic stress disorder. And for years, I was stuck in the memories of the trauma. And and I wanted to move forward in my life, in my career, but I couldn't. I felt so stuck. And I felt so unworthy to create an abundant income. And I was terrified and ashamed to be seen and visible because of the trauma. And I didn't trust myself to make decisions. And then one day, it was this beautiful, bright, sunny day. And I was doing an exchange with a, a, a friend. And I walked into her office, and her office had these big windows, and the sun was streaming through the windows. And she told me about a training where I could learn how to heal other people's trauma and how I could learn to heal my own. And I knew my intuition was like, yes, yes, that is what I need in order to transform the lives of my clients and my life. And and so I enrolled in that trauma training. And through the years, I've taken many certifications and courses and done a lot of my own personal growth work. And through the years, what I've done is I've developed a whole system of tools and techniques that every coach, healer, therapist, every person can use in their tool belt. And I created a system called the Intuition Advantage System. And I'm here to help you, and I'm committed to help you make the very best decisions and create the life that you want with confidence, clarity, and calm so that you can trust your intuition, trust yourself, and take inspired action. And that's what I really want to help all of you to do and to make a difference in your lives. So I really want to say thank you for being here. Welcome. So glad that you're here, whether you're live or at coming in and watching this at a later time. And I see Dee. Hello, Dee. Nice. Good to see you, that you joined us. And so first I want to talk about the first key to calm. And the first key to calm is understanding what's going on underneath the anxiety or the stress. And it's discovering the cause, because anxiety, stress is all a symptom of something that's underneath. something that happens. And what has happened is there's something that's happened in your life that ends up creating and triggering you so that you feel stressed or anxious or depressed. And so learning how and understanding what's underneath. So I'm going to share my quick Psych 101 lesson. And that is, first you have the conscious mind. And your conscious mind is the part of you that decided to come here, or the part of you that's listening at a later time. Thank you, conscious mind, because it empowers you. It empowers you to help you move back to that calm space. You need that conscious mind to make a very clear, conscious decision. And that's a really important tool for you to remember. You need your conscious mind to make clear, conscious decisions to say, yes, I'm choosing calm right now. Now, the challenge can be is you may ask yourself, how can I choose it? I have no idea. And I don't know how to choose calm when I'm feeling this stress. So we're going to talk about it a little more through this masterclass. And then I will also share with you a way that we can take it deeper so that you can understand more. And also understand more of how the intuition advantage works. So the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind, is the part of you from the moment that you were conceived to present time, has recorded every moment that you have been alive. And it also includes, and you can take this or leave this, it also includes past life and ancestral information, including past life and ancestral trauma. And so what happens is that you end up not being able to make that conscious decision because your subconscious mind is in a loop and it's continuing to do the same loop again and again. And that loop is actually remember I said that the anxiety and the stress was the symptom. The cause is, most of the time, if not all the time, trauma. And you may think, and some of you may think, well, I don't have trauma. I don't have trauma. But the thing is that sometimes we don't even realize that when we're growing up, and you may have come from a great family, you may not even realize that you have had trauma. And I'm going to give you an example to that. So Beth came to me, and she was feeling depressed. She was feeling anxious, really anxious. And she didn't know that she had trauma because she grew up in a family, and they appeared to be a great family. You know, she was well taken care of, but it wasn't okay to feel a feeling. And do you know how many clients I have had where they grew up in families where it wasn't okay to feel angry, especially if you were a girl? Yeah. I see Dee raising her hand. Wasn't okay to feel angry. Some families, it wasn't okay to feel grief, especially if you were a boy. That, boys don't cry. And some it wasn't okay. But there are plenty of families where it's not okay to show emotion, except you have to be happy. And that's what happened with Beth. She grew up in a family where you need to be happy. And if you're not happy, then you need to go to your room and don't come out until you're happy. And so, what Beth and I worked on, and remember, she had tremendous anxiety. What Beth and I worked on was helping her feel her feelings. And as she began to feel her feelings, her anxiety started reducing, her anxiety, and we started working on healing the cause of the anxiety, the cause of the traumas, feeling the feelings. And what happened was she started getting less stressed, less anxiety, and started actually feeling happy. She would have to put on a happy face, but now she was really feeling happy. And that's the power of what happens when you get in touch with your your cause. So I'm wondering, anybody else here grow up in a family, or they're aware maybe they weren't able to feel a certain feeling, or anybody else like to, okay, Stephanie, can you unmute yourself? Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't so much with my family, it was more at school.
Okay. Yep.
My peers would get uncomfortable when I would get emotional, or my
Okay.
teachers would get uncomfortable if I got emotional. And I remember being called a crybaby
Oh
and,
wow. Yep.
shamed for feeling my emotions as a child
Yep.
by my peers, not necessarily by my family.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, and that happens. Thank you for sharing that and bringing that in, because so often school and peers really do, teachers don't realize how much of a profound effect that they can have on a kid. And it's really important that they learn that they need to make it okay for a child, or learn how. It sounds like you were a sensitive child, and you were very, and you were very emotional, and you had a right to all those feelings. So thank you so much for sharing that, Stephanie. So that's key number one, is really understanding what's going on under the stress, under the anxiety. So it's discovering that cause. The second key is all about connection. What happens when we feel stressed and anxious, when you're feeling that stress and you are so stressed out, or you're feeling the anxiety, what's happening is you're not in present time. You're either in the past or worrying about the future. And so, a really important tool for you is to learn how to start becoming consciously aware. Oh, I'm in that reaction, because when you're stressed, and even if it's a um, a state that you are in often, even I'm helping that maybe this masterclass will help you to become more aware when you're in this state, to make that conscious decision to be able to then say to yourself, I now need to take a breath. This is an important tool that I remind so many of my clients, and I use myself, because I know what it's like. It's not like I haven't mastered and I'm always calm all the time. When I notice, as soon as I notice that I'm in that state, I'm like, Take a deep breath. So let's actually do some belly breath together. This is a tool that's going to help you. Okay. Now, the way that I like to do it, I'll share, when I first learned belly breath, I was actually studying voice and singing. It was something that I always wanted to do. And my voice teacher said, go lie down on the floor. I did it on my bed and put a heavy book on your stomach and practice the breath. When you breathe in, this is the diaphragm breathing, belly breath. When you breathe in, your stomach rises. When you breathe out, your stomach falls. So what I do, so I was practicing that, and that's something that I want to support you to work on calm, to work on being able to practice belly breath. How many of you have heard of belly breath? Raise your hand. Or okay, so that's um something that, it's again a tool that can be used. What I like to do is actually put my hands on my belly when I'm sitting up, because what happens for me is almost like it's a an anchor. So when I put my hands on my belly, I can immediately start to tune in and say, breathe in. And I actually do the words, breathe in and let my belly rise, and breathe out. Let my belly fall. Breathe in, belly rise, and breathe out. Let the belly fall. Breathe in, belly rise, and breathe out, belly fall. Okay. Can you even we just took 3 breaths. Can everybody feel, do you feel a shift even in those 3 breaths? Put a yes in the chat if you can feel, if you feel a difference in those 3 breaths. And that's why I, Stephanie, yes, okay. D, yes, okay. And so for those of you that may not have, listen, I want to remind you, belly breath takes time to practice. Okay. Those of you that said yes, you may have already known about belly breath. I saw some of you raise your hands. So I just really want to encourage you that if you don't know about belly breath, practice it. Practice it lying down with that heavy book on your belly, because that is, and what happens when you do that is you start training your brain, because that's what you want to create, new neural pathways in your brain, to start breathing, so that when you're feeling the stress reaction or you're feeling anxiety, you become consciously aware. You say, breathe, belly breath. It becomes an automatic. And this is part of learning how to train your brain, train your subconscious mind. And so it takes work and it takes practice, but I will tell you, it works and it helps. And then the next key or tool, well, I'm not going to do key, I'm doing a tool, because I want to share 3 different tools to help you with the calm. 3 tools. So the first one is the belly breath. The second one, when you're doing the breath, if you notice, you want to notice yourself coming into your body and body awareness. What I like to do is I notice my breath, and I love to notice my feet, and my feet on the floor in connection with the earth, grounding and finding a way to ground. So you can use your breath, you can use your feet. You may want to go outside. I have clients that exercise, and it helps them feel themselves. Yoga. I know yoga is a wonderful way to connect back to your body. So it's really making that connection back to the body so that you're in present time, that you come out of the past or the future to come back into present time. And then the third tool is self-talk. And I want to make a distinction here. We want positive, encouraging, and calm self-talk. Now, how many of you realize that you're talking to yourself all the time? Put a yes in the chat. Yeah. Okay. You raise your hands. I saw you raise your hands. Yeah. Thank you. So we are talking to ourselves all the time. And how much of that time is positive, encouraging, and calm self-talk? And so it's really becoming more conscious, using that conscious mind of yours, of what is your self-talk? How are you talking to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? So if you're going into a situation and you're saying, I'm so stressed out. I am so stressed out. I don't know how this is how I'm gonna do this. I feel stress. You are actually creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're going to create continuing to feel that stress. But what happens is as you begin to start becoming aware and start talking to yourself, like change the talk. Suppose you have a situation where you're feeling stressed and you're saying, you know what? How can I have fun? How can I make this a calmer situation or a more fun situation? How can I change this so that I am creating a calmer experience for myself? And so learning to do the self-talk, the positive, encouraging and calm self-talk is a really important skill and tool for you to use to help you be able to continue to stay in a calmer state of mind. So what there are other tools to help you reconnect with yourself. How many of you meditate? Meditation is a tool. Okay, so we got meditation. How many of you journal? Journaling is a tool to connect. Okay, journaling. Another way of connection. Yoga. How many of you do yoga? Or how many of you are yoga teachers? Yeah. So yoga is a wonderful way. And with yoga also there's exercise. I have many clients that do exercise and the exercise helps them to calm themselves down because it actually sends the positive hormones to be able to shift your energy and your mood. And that's another way. Going out in nature. How many of you love to go out in nature? All right, so put in the chat. Are you a beach goer, a mountain goer, or like a field, or a garden? What's your favorite place? What's your favorite place to go out into nature? And I know I love the beach. I live in Long Island, and so I'm near the beach. Dee says water, beach, and garden. She's got it all. Right. Stephanie, beach or the park by my house. Carol, beach, going to the beach on Saturday. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I want to support you to find those places that bring calm. So I mentioned a few things. I'd like to open it up. What brings you connection? Because it's in connection that can help bring you the calm. And whether it's feeling your feelings or choosing to do some kind of activity, doing the self talk, grounding yourself, all of those will bring calm. So put in the chat, tell me what you do to bring calm into your life. Do you I know some of you love the beach, go to the beach, but what about journaling, or what about take a breath? Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Taking a breath. That is important, definitely. And so all of that, breathing and stretching on my back with a strap. D, music. Thank you, D. That actually, music and sound is a wonderful way to change your brain and state. Stephanie, I start my day journaling, so that helps me start my day right. That's great. Journaling is such a powerful way, a powerful tool to calm. Thank you. All of those are really important tools. The stretching, the music, the journaling. I just really want to support all of you to find the tools, that will help you to go back into calm. So let's do a little sentence completion. So what we're going to do, I'm going to type into the chat this sentence. Get a pen and paper, and um, okay. So the first one is, a way I lack calm, or you can also say, a way I stress myself out. Either a way I stress myself out, a way I lack calm. Um, Choose which one you want, and just allow, write it down, and just allow whatever comes to you. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. It's okay. Just let it flow and see what happens. Okay. So now allow yourself, we're going to do the next sentence completion. So the next sentence is, a way I can have more calm is. A way I can have more calm is. So write the sentence at the top of the page and just let it flow. Don't think, just let the information flow. Just see what comes. pause the recording. What happened? I'm pausing the recording so that you can again. So I turned it off so that the people that are at this event can be able to share freely. And just to let you know what we really discovered that helps, that stresses people out, and it's for all of us, is not accepting where we are, not setting limits and boundaries, not speaking our truth, and asking for help. And so a way that you can help yourself and reduce your stress and anxiety is ask for help, ask for support, lower your expectations. They need to be realistic, and work on knowing that you can't control other people. You can only work on being able to start working on controlling and understanding your reactions to others. And three is healthy boundaries, acceptance. All of that is so important. So want to support you. Carol, I see your hand is up. Did you want to share anything?
I was I was just wondering, for those of us who find it difficult to ask, feeling like, we operate a certain way and why don't others, meet our needs? Nance, how would you get better at that when it's not comfortable?
Well, it takes practice. So even though it may not be comfortable, it's going to be something that's a skill that's learnable. And I would suggest that you start with people that feel safer or more comfortable with. The people that you feel challenged, or the people that may really trigger you, are not the people that you start asking for help and support. You start with people that where it feels more comfortable or safer to ask. And
Thank
and
you. That's
it's a
great.
skill that needs to be learned, and it takes practice. Takes practice. And
I think you said it, Nancy. I think you said it in one of our classes. It says you have to meet people where they're at.
yes, yes. And there are some people that no matter what you say or ask, they may not be show up for you, or they may not be able to at that moment. And it's not about you, it's about where they're at. And that's important to remember, to not take things personally. Oh, this is a big stress reliever. Okay. Do not take other people's reactions or emotions personally. It's not about you, it's about what's going on for them. Or they may be stressed out, or they may be going through their own stuff, and you don't know. So just all those things are really important to remember. Thank you, Carol, for
Thank you.
asking. Okay. So anybody like to share what they've gotten so far from this master class? Put in the chat one thing that you've learned today. Put in the chat one thing that you learned today so far. Okay. Carol says, don't ask for your needs to be met first by those that trigger you. Yes, good thing to remember. Stephanie, the ways I stress myself out. D, self-talk happens all the time. Yep. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much for that. And so I want to share with you Suzanne. And when I worked with Suzanne and I began working together. She was already a 6-figure business coach. but she wasn't valuing herself. She wasn't valuing her personal life. She wasn't setting limits and boundaries that she needed to in her relationships. And she was letting others make the decisions for her. And she was in a very unhealthy relationship. And all of this was distracting her and affecting her business, and she couldn't see a way forward. And so I took her through the intuition advantage process, and she began to build up her inner knowing, and she began to value herself in new ways. She began to build her self-esteem and gain confidence, courage, and calm in her personal and professional life. She began saying no and setting limits and boundaries with her clients and her family. And she ended the unhealthy relationship. And as a result of the confidence she gained with our work together, she was able to claim that she was going to go for a successful 7-figure business and was committed to taking her business to those next levels. And when you're walking the path of the intuition advantage, you feel confident and calm to make decisions and take inspired action. And when you learn my signature system, you're not afraid to be seen. You're not afraid to ask for what you want. You speak up and you learn to say no. And you are willing to go for everything in your career, your relationships, and your health. And you're able to listen to that strong, intuitive voice so that you can listen, live, and lead from it. And that's what I am here to teach you to do. And I am committed to helping you take those next steps so that you can learn how to feel calm, even in the center of a storm, so that you can create the income and the impact and the visibility and move forward in your life, in your health, in your career, on every level. And that's what can happen when you work with the intuition advantage system and myself. And so I've opened up a limited number of slots in my schedule for my 30-minute intuitive breakthrough session. And during the session, you're going to discover the number one reason. You're going to discover clarity, first of all, about your vision and goals. And if you don't have that clarity, we'll go over that clarity. You'll discover the number one reason that you would keep yourself from achieving them. And if you would like, I can read your energy and tell you where there may be a blockage in your energy field. And then we'll go over the steps that you can take to move you forward so that you can create calm, confidence, clarity, and take your life and your work to whole new levels. So, Stephanie, can you drop the link in the chat, please? Ah, she already did. So the link is in the chat. And definitely, I love to connect with you. I support you to take me up on the intuitive breakthrough session. And I look forward to connecting with you more in the intuitive breakthrough session. So now the final key is all about intuition. And as you can tell, the intuition advantage is the really important part of the work that I do. And in order for you to create that intuition advantage, it's learning to be able to have that calm. So using the first two keys, discovering the cause. Second key is that connection. That connection is crucial for creating the calm. So that now your intuition is your ability to see, hear, feel, know, and even smell beyond your physical 5 senses. And learning to tap into your intuition will move you forward in your life, in your work, and on every level of your being. Intuition. I don't have any decisions without tuning into my intuition about what's going to take me to those next levels, or what decisions do I need to make. And I'm always tuning into my intuition to make those decisions. And I really want to support all of you to be able to make decisions from your intuition. And your intuition, to me, whether like it's God's gift or the universe or higher power or whatever you choose to call it, it's the gift you were given to navigate life's challenges. And working with your intuition can totally transform your life. So definitely want to support you. So when you see things in your mind's eye, that's clairvoyance. When you hear, that's clairaudience, and you hear words or sounds. Some people, musicians, hear music. And so you can hear it on other levels. And then there's claircognizance. How many of you ever get the knowing, like you're in the shower and oh, boom, like I get knowings in the shower? Or, okay, Stephanie gets the know, she's a knower. Okay. And how many of you, okay, I bet you're all empaths. And an empath feels what other people feel. So you may walk into a room and you end up like, you may feel fine, you feel calm or peaceful, and all of a sudden you start feeling stressed or angry. Then you picked up other people's feelings. And I just want to let you know, it is 1 o'clock. I'm going to go over a little bit over, so I'm hoping that you can stay with us. We'll be finished soon, but I just want to complete the masterclass, and then I'll take any other questions. And so, and then you have clairsentience also, an empath is part of that. And how many of you ever have the God bumps? Like I'll be with a client and all of a sudden I'll go, oh, I got the chills. And my whole body goes and I start moving around. That's the clairsentience. You're feeling it in your body, or gut feelings. Also clairsentience. Stephanie, okay, so she's got clairsentience. Okay, cool. And then there's, okay, so we got the see, the know, the feel, and the hearing. And then there's actually the smelling, and it's you smell beyond what's happening. Like sometimes I know that when I'm working with clients, they'll smell. I get that sometimes, Stephanie says, where you'll smell, let's say, a cigarette or a cigar from a deceased loved one, or I can smell my mother. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that. And then smelling, sometimes some of you, I don't know, Mother Mary, you may smell roses. She makes herself known by the smell of roses. So any of those are possibilities. And those are the way the clairs come in. And the way your intuition lets you know it's there. And so it's really important for you to learn to listen and really start making those decisions, living from your intuition. And what happens when you do, that's where transformation really happens, the magic and the miracles of life. And I watch going into that zone when I'm in that intuitive space. It's like it can light up your day. It can light up your moment. It's so magical and miraculous. I love the intuitive space. I like even something like I'll call my virtual assistant and she'll go, "You are so psychic. I was just doing this and you," and I'm like, and I just laugh and I'm like, "Yep," and that's what happens. And that's what happens when you start tuning in more and it just flows and it grows and and you know that you've mastered your intuition when you can listen, you access it, you trust it, and then you can like take inspired action so that you're moving forward in your life. And so what I'm wondering is, does anybody have any questions? Any questions before we end? Any other questions? Okay. So, Stephanie, can you just put the link in the chat to my intuitive breakthrough session? And anybody who would like that will definitely get to meet and connect more. Thank you. And I really want to support you all in remembering. So to summarize today, the first key is really discovering the cause of what, because the stress and the anxiety are the symptoms. You want to understand what's going on underneath, discovering the cause. 2, making that deeper connection with yourself. And that's connecting with your body, connecting with your feelings, your emotions, connecting with your what are you thinking, that self-talk. What are you doing? What are you saying to yourself? And what I realized is I didn't share the superconscious mind, which is the higher part of you, your higher self, that wise, unconditionally loving part of you, your soul, your guides, your angels. They're all there for the asking, and they're giving you intuitive information all the time too. And it's about you going into that calm space so that you can hear it, feel it, know it. And it can come in any of those ways. So it's learning to make the deeper connection with yourself and with those higher aspects of self and with the universe. Really key. And then the third is the intuition, is learning to listen, to hear, to feel, to sense, to know that you're being guided by your intuition every moment. And when you're in the calm state, learning to become aware of what the messages are can really transform your life. So those are the 3 keys. And I really want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting with all of you soon. Have a great day.